Okay, so the second match of the third round starts Monday. So today we're going to preview Vegas and Montreal, do my prediction, and might shock a few people. You'll find out if I'm being sarcastic about that when I make my prediction. Alright. So, yeah, all my brackets are shattered. My picks are basically wrong. I'm 3 for 12 so far. I've basically picked all the higher seeds, and that has not worked well for me. Alright, so here we go. Vegas and Montreal. Game 1, Monday, June 14th in Vegas at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific on the West Coast. For the Golden Knights, they're 14-2, 82 points. They beat the Wild in 7 games and Colorado in 6 games. They have an 8-5 record overall. They scored 40 goals, allowing 31 against. Their points leaders, William Karlsson quietly being the point leader for Vegas. Don't sleep on William Karlsson. Jonathan Marchessault, 8 points. Mark Stone, 8 points. Max Pacioretty with 8 points in 7 games. And Pietrangelo with 8 points. Goaltending, Marc-Andre Fleury is 8-4, 1.91 goals against average, 923 save percentage. Power play, 14.3%, 14th in the league. That does need to improve. But as you see, Montreal's penalty killing is just amazing. Vegas's penalty kill is 71.4%. No doubt that will also have to be better as they face Montreal. Their notable injuries is just Thomas Nosek. And then on the Montreal side of things, a team that doesn't look like they belong in the third round with just 59 points in the regular season, but they're here, aren't they? They beat Toronto in 7 games and swept Winnipeg, and they're the Kings of the North in Canada. They have an 8-3 record, and they had a 1-week break coming into Monday's game. They scored 28 goals and allowed 24, and that was 14 goals for, 6 against in the sweep against Winnipeg, so pretty good. Points leaders, Tyler Toffoli with 10 points, Nick Suzuki with 8 points, Yoel Armia with 7 points, Eric Stahl with 7 points, Corey Perry with 6 points. Goaltending, Carey Price has been amazing, 8-3, 1.97 goals against average, 935 save percentage. It's going to be a goaltending battle, that's for sure. Don't expect backups to be coming in. Power play, 18.8%, 8th in the league. It is continuing to improve, and against a penalty killing that got ravaged at times by Colorado, Montreal might be able to take advantage of that. And their penalty killing is first in the NHL in the playoffs with 90.3%. If they keep it up, Vegas might have some trouble scoring on the power play. Their injuries, Jeff Petrie, Evans, Merrill, Tatar, I think they'll all make the trip to Vegas, and we'll see if they play game 1 or game 2. Alright, before I go over my prediction, let's go over some storylines here. As you know, Vegas, a juggernaut in the regular season, and they made Colorado look like amateurs. Meanwhile, the Montreal Canadiens seemed to make the North Division a weaker one with a 59-point season, but they shocked the hockey world as they beat Toronto and sweeping Winnipeg. And the Canadiens, coming back to the Stanley Cup final, haven't won a cup since 1993. It'd be the first cup for Canada in 28 years. Or will the Golden Knights have another shot at the cup? Alright. Let's look at the forwards. Let's look specifically at the first line. It's a matchup between Philip Deneau and Mark Stone. And when we see how good the first line of Vegas shut down McKinnon, Rantanen, and Landeskog, hard to imagine that Vegas does not have one of the best first lines in the league, even without a superstar. But Philip Deneau's line can definitely match Vegas's physicality. They also have a great track record in shutting down stars. They were able to stop Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner. But of course, the Golden Knights' top line has more offensive potential with Pacioretty coming back. And Chandler Stevenson doing a great job stifling the Avs star forwards. Both of these teams like to roll out four lines. And their second line, Marchessault, Carlson, and Smith, did great against Colorado. For Montreal, they have some potential sprinkling through the lineup. They have Cole Caulfield, they have Corey Perry and Eric Stahl, who have played pretty well as a veteran presence. Defensively, the Golden Knights didn't have a true number one defenseman until basically this year. And now it's Pietrangelo joining the Golden Knights squad. Makes them even better than they were when their inaugural season against Washington. They also have Alec Martinez, Brayden McNabb, Shea Theodore, Nick Holden, and Zach Whitecloud. For Montreal, they've limited teams to just 2.18 goals per game this postseason. A point of strength for them. It begins with Shea Weber, Jeff Petrie, we'll see if he comes in. Alexander Romanov, the rookie, has not disappointed. Goaltending. Carey Price shows up in the playoffs. We know that. He's not that good in the regular season, but he showed up for sure. He gave Montreal a chance to win every night. And they've done well. On the other end, Marc-Andre Fleury, he let in a few goals he liked back, but he's been a steady backbone. He has a great attitude. When he allows a bad goal, he responds and is sharp for the rest of the game. So I don't think Leonard will get any more action at this point. Special teams. This is where I kind of think hard about things. That it changes what my outlook is in this series, because I think special teams are very important. In Vegas, they took a lot of penalties early in the Colorado series. I think that dug a little bit of a hole for them. They were able to dig themselves out of the hole with 4 straight wins. But with their special teams struggling, Montreal might be able to take advantage here. Alright, let's go into my prediction here. My prediction is shockingly going to be the Habs in 6 games. I think it comes down to how disciplined Vegas and Montreal will be. Vegas' power play has not been very successful. Montreal's penalty kill has been excellent. So Montreal stays disciplined and keeps Vegas' power play just not... Don't let them heat up, basically is what I would say for Montreal. Vegas has had a history of having their offense dry up at times. We haven't seen much of that since the Minnesota series, but if Carey Price can steal games, that could get into Vegas' heads. That said, Vegas is a very strong team, but they can't allow as many goals as they did at times against Colorado. Fleury has to be dropped down amazing, because Price has been equally as amazing. It's going to be a goaltending battle. And again, a grit versus talent discussion. Montreal has had the mentality of not giving up. I compare them to the Islanders, that they don't give up. Even when they're down 2 goals, 3 goals, they find a way to make games interesting, even if they don't win. And also another thing here that I didn't write here is Montreal has scored first in 9 of their 11 games so far, and they're 8-1 when scoring first. So it's a discussion to be had. Vegas, I can see definitely them being favorites to win the whole thing. A lot of people probably are guessing Vegas and Tampa in the final. And yes, I'm calling upsets in both matchups if you didn't watch my video yesterday. I think Montreal and the New York Islanders are built for a good playoff run. And Montreal, I think if they keep the special teams as good as it has been, it could be very interesting. Another thing that I could say is that they've scored more shorthanded goals than their opponents have scored on the power play, which is amazing. They have 4 shorthanded goals this season, and if Vegas' power play struggles and allows shorthanded goals, that can't happen. So, the Habs, an unexpected run, I think they have a chance. We'll see how the physicality plays out. We'll see how Vegas scores. If their offense dries up, that'll be a big problem. If Vegas trucks along like they did against Colorado, it'd be hard to bet against them, but I think Montreal has that streak-breaking mentality, and they've won 7 straight games. Vegas winning 4 straight games, so one of them will have to fall eventually. We'll see what happens against these 2 high-flying teams. And the 3rd round starts tomorrow, so it's going to be fun. Alright, so until tomorrow, where I go over the 4th week of playoff hockey in my recap video, we'll see you later. Take care, have a great rest of your weekend, and enjoy the hockey coming up.